great detective Remington Steele? He doesn't exist. I invented him.
The woman behind the man, Miss Laura Holt.
Until the day he walked in, with his blue eyes and mysterious past.
Remington Steele is an elaborate ruse. He does not exist.
We never mix business with pleasure. Well, almost never.
I think it's time they found me.
Remington Steele, weeknights at 8/7 Central on MeTV.
Hi, I'm John Malos. Welcome to Connect with Me. A very important topic today. We're talking drunken drivers. The holiday season is upon us. Everybody will be traveling. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people will. Across town, across the state, across the country. We've got two people in the studio today representing MADD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. 265-4331 is the number. And of course, this is a very important topic today when we're talking drunken drivers, because this is the holiday season. It all started, of course, after Thanksgiving. 6 days away from Christmas, people will be driving across town, across the country, who knows where, across the state of California. They'll be going to grandma's house, grandpa's house, they'll be going to their brothers, their in-laws, who knows where. Drunken drivers remains a major issue, not only in the state of California, but in this entire country. Let's put something up on the screen I'll show you, you may or may not be aware of. In fact, this is the most dangerous time of the year to drive anywhere, between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day. That's when people are most at risk for being hit and killed by a drunken driver. You want to see some stats? Here they are. Well, last year, nearly 10,000 people were killed by drunken drivers. That would be 1 every 53 minutes. 774 of those fatalities were in California. Texas had the most DUI fatalities of any state, with more than 1,200. One of the most highly publicized cases recently was that of two Dallas Cowboy football players. Jerry Brown, seen here, was killed when the car that he was riding in crashed and rolled. Authorities say Brown's teammate, that man right there, Cowboys nose tackle Josh Brent, was behind the wheel and he was driving drunk. Brent is now facing intoxication and manslaughter charges. In fact, 2 years ago, right here in the city of Fresno, Rick Flores, pictured here with his fiancée Kelly, they were both hit head-on by a drunken driver who was going 80 miles an hour in northwest Fresno. Rick died from his injuries. Kelly survived, but she has been left with emotional scars for life, as you can imagine. The picture was taken about a week prior to the accident. Here's another photo of Rick in the middle with his mother and his father. Live in our studio right now is Victoria Flores, Rick's mother, who represents MADD, that is Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and Barry Gleeson, MADD's DUI coordinator and police liaison. We've got two guests. Your phone calls are very important, a very important topic and issue today of drunken drivers. 559-265-4331. Back in a moment.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high-efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Glad you could join us this Wednesday morning here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. You're watching us on Comcast and 43.6. And please do me a favor. If, in fact, you go to a party this holiday season, like this coming weekend, Christmas is approaching, fast approaching, only 6 days away, don't drink and then get behind the wheel. Just don't do it. It's as simple as that. The risk is so high that you're going to kill yourself, members of your family, and other people that are driving innocently down the highway. So please don't drink and drive. We've got, of course, Vicki Flores here with us in the studio today, representing MADD. Barry Gleeson, you've been on before. You're the police liaison and kind of a DUI coordinator for MADD. Now, Vicki, I'm very sorry for your loss. Your son,
Thank you.
Of course, Rick, 2 years ago, in March of 2010 is when it happened. I want to put up on the screen the picture of the crash that Rick was involved with. When that drunken driver hit him at 80 miles per hour, that's the result right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is what drunken drivers do and can do and have done and will continue to do if they drink and drive. He died instantly, did he not? Your son?
He didn't die instantly, but it took the jaws of life to remove him from the vehicle, and then he died.
Let me ask you, how have you been able to cope with this for the last 2 years? It's just unimaginable.
It's not something easy to cope with. It's divided our family.
How so? In what way?
Well, none of us expected any kind of a crisis to happen to our family, and when it did, people weren't prepared. For me, I wanted to make a positive change in the community, and so I got involved in MADD. Others think that grieving is not being out there trying to make a difference, just sitting back and thinking about Rick and trying to understand why it happened.
Yeah, everyone is different, though. Everyone
is
takes the
different.
grieving differently
Yes.
when someone dies or becomes injured. And what about Rick's fiancée, Kelly? How is she doing now emotionally?
Well, physically she's completely recovered, but emotionally she's still struggling with the crash.
Yeah. Now, Barry, you've been here before. The driver of this car, the one that killed Vicky's son, Rick, did he survive, or is he?
No,
he's
he was
gone.
killed instantly in the crash, yes.
Right.
And it's unusual because usually they walk away.
And what's the message you have for other people when you go out and speak?
Well, yes, but here's the point. If you're going to drink, it's very simple. Have a designated driver.
Right.
And this is the answer. If you're going to a party, then have one person be responsible for bringing you home safely.
Let's take a call here real quick. Good morning. You're on Connect With Me. Well, you were on Connect With Me. I guess they got tired of holding. But the driver, the drunken driver, was killed instantly. Did he have a family? Did he leave some members behind?
I believe so. I'm not sure. I think Vicki would know more
Go
about
ahead,
that
Vicki.
than I would.
Yes, the gentleman that killed Rick left behind a wife and a 4-year-old son.
Does anybody
his
know
parents.
how and why he got behind the wheel after he was? You said he was like what, 2 or 3 times over the legal limit?
He was more than 3 times the legal limit. He had left in the morning, kissed his son and wife goodbye, went off to work, and then after work he attended a sporting event at a large arena here in Fresno with his friends. While at the arena, they drank and partied, and he got in his vehicle and drove. His friends did nothing about it. They just let him drive, very drunk.
And that happens all too often. This happened during the day or night?
It was
this
in the
crash?
evening,
Okay.
before 10 in the evening.
Okay. I want to put up another crash scene, and that is the one involving the 2 Dallas Cowboy football players that just took place just a couple of weeks ago. This is the vehicle that was that rolled over. Of course, Jerry Brown of the Dallas Cowboys was killed in this crash. His teammate Josh Brent charged with intoxication and manslaughter. So now 2 lives are gone, basically gone, Brent and Brown, and family members are left behind. Another senseless act. What's your comment about this action here that happened a couple of weeks ago?
Well, we're always saddened to hear when there's a crash, when there's someone killed or injured.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there are several things that you can do. We're going to get into that later on. But basically, if you're out and you're drinking, or you see your friends drinking, how is it that you restrain that person and tell him, no, you're not going to get behind the wheel? It's easier said than done. If I go out with a friend and he's drinking and he wants to get behind the wheel and drive, I mean, short of tackling him and physically grabbing him and saying, no, you're not going to drive, what do? You call the cops?
Actually, you can call the police and report his license number. I mean,
But can you physically stop that person?
I think that would be up to the person, but you would want to take their keys. You would want to do everything that you possibly can to discourage. There's agencies out there now that are companies that are willing to come. They're in all the bars and restaurants now.
Yes, they are. But I guess what my point is physically trying to stop that person from getting behind the wheel when you know that they are drunk. That is a difficult proposition, is it not, Barry?
Well, it's a very difficult proposition. Most people there have the common sense to not get in and drive, that they have somebody else. However,
but some people don't.
Yes, I do. So, however, there are the individuals that there's no way that you can stop them short of them being arrested. And as she said, call the police department and try and have him apprehended before he does physical damage to himself or kill somebody.
All right, another call here. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you doing?
Hey, pretty good. Pretty good. What's your question?
Pardon me?
Your question, quickly. We're on the air.
I really don't have a question. I just wanted to let everybody know that driving drunk kills. It means I lost my son-in-law.
How long ago?
It was in March of 2009.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Montana Highway Patrol trooper, and he was killed in the line of duty.
By a drunken driver?
Yes.
Well, I'm very sorry for your loss. And
Thank you.
yeah, it's a very important topic and something that many people, including politicians, should probably pay more attention to, I would assume. I thank you very much for your call.
Drunk driving is a choice that someone makes.
Mm-hmm.
It is a conscious choice, and they don't have to make that choice. They don't realize that making that choice could possibly kill themselves or some innocent person.
Right. They don't realize it because they're inebriated. They're under the influence.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
We need to stop them from driving.
Well, I appreciate your call. Thank you so much, and sorry for your loss, and have a happy holiday season.
Thank you. You too.
All right. We're going to continue with more of our conversation here, talking about drunk drivers. We're talking with Vicki Flores and Barry Gleeson. You're watching Connect with Me. 265-4331 is the number.
You tell me who I am.
They called you West.
Jim West.
Mr. West.
West!
Well, my name is James West.
A truly great man.
Brilliant.
Secret Service agent.
What's next? Come on, I'm waiting.
Man of action. He's James West.
Where's Jim West?
On the Wild Wild West. Weekdays at 4, 3 Central on MeTV.
Just keep in mind, if you drink and drive this holiday season, you might get away with it once, but you know what? Eventually it's going to catch up with you, and you're going to hurt somebody, including yourself and your family. We got another call here. Good morning, you're on Connect with Me. Whoops, sorry, not there anymore. Anyway, you got to be patient. If you call in, just be patient. Hang in there. We can't always get to you. Whoops, calling again. Another wireless caller here. Just be patient. See what this call is all about. Good morning, you're on Connect with Me. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. What's your question? Quickly, you're on the air.
I'm calling in regards to Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. It's a national group, yet how are they feeling as far as the rehabilitation, drug and alcohol rehab?
In other words, do they think that drug and alcohol rehab actually work? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
What's your comment about that? Let's start with you, Barry.
Yeah, in many cases it is. Definitely it has an effect on them. In fact, we have a person in our organization now that was under the influence, went to jail, and went to rehabilitation, and he's just an outstanding member of our organization. Yes, it works.
So does it work in your opinion, Vicki?
I think in some cases it does.
Mm-hmm.
And in other cases?
Well, I think it's like anything in life. Not everything always works.
Yeah, not one size fits all.
That's correct.
As far as the law is concerned, what would you like to see changed, in your opinion?
I would like to see mandatory server training. Right now, the state of California does not have mandatory server training, and in our case...
Explain what mandatory server training is.
Anyone that serves alcohol, owns anything to do with alcohol, if they have anything to do with it and they're going to be selling to or in the public's eye, they should be trained so that they have a good idea of how much should be served if someone's already intoxicated.
Another call. Good morning. You're on Connect with me.
Good morning. I'll be as brief as I can. I'm going to be late for work. But I was just wondering, isn't there some kind of way that we can put on, make it a mandatory type deal to have a breath machine put on every vehicle? Because it's long after I'm gone, you're gone, it's going to continue DUIs. To show you about it. And I thought, well, why couldn't we mandatorily have these products put on these vehicles so that once you get behind the wheel, whether you're sober or not, you have to do it.
Right, and I think what you're talking about perhaps is those breathalyzers that if you're under the influence, your car will not start.
Yes.
It's the ignition interlocks. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Right.
Okay, we're going to talk about that later on. We're going to put that up on the screen, and not going to do it now. But yeah, well, why hasn't California implemented that system there? Why?
Well,
is it a political issue?
Well, they have 4 counties now that they're experimenting with it. Okay.
Which 4?
Tulare, I can't name
Sacramento.
Yeah, what was the other?
L.A. and San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is working, and there is a talk about making it compulsory, but MADD is working for 2014 to make it a national, that all cars must be fitted with that instrument.
Right. Okay. Well, it's not done yet.
No.
It's not implemented in California. Maybe it will be soon or in the near future. Another call. Good morning. You're on Connect with me. How are you?
Good morning, and to the guests. The question is, we know there's a lot of advertisements on television about DUIs and everything. Are the people that are drunk have issues in the first place in their life? I mean, is it the everyday people, or are there people that have problems that they carry with them as they drink? I mean, that's a survey I guess I'd like to know. Are they ignorant? Are they stupid in the first place? Or what would be the category that they would be under? Let me ask you that.
Go ahead.
I mean, would they know the mayor of Fresno? her name?
I believe everybody has issues in their life, so I don't think that drinking and driving is an excuse. I think that people are not responsible. Drinking and driving is a choice. It is 100% preventable. And I don't think any issue in my life or anybody else's life is an excuse to do that.
All right. Barry, I assume you agree with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I want to put up on the screen a highly publicized case right here in the city of Fresno. Let's put up the crosswalk where it happened in northeast Fresno. This is where a little boy and his family were hit by a driver that was driving under the influence. That, according to authorities, that took place earlier this year. Very highly publicized on the television news, in the newspaper. Let's put up on the screen the picture of the little boy that was killed, Donovan Maldonado, and then the picture of the person accused of hitting him and his family. Donovan, of course, died. Lauren LeBeau, a teacher at Central Unified. Matter of fact, he was a basketball coach. He's no longer there. He has been charged, of course, with killing little Donovan Maldonado. What's the status of that case? I'm sure you're following that pretty closely, are you not, Barry?
Vicky's been handling that case.
Okay.
I'm actually an advocate, and I am supporting the Maldonado family, and it is in pre-trial at this time, so it cannot be discussed.
What do you find most appalling about this case, besides the fact that someone died, a little boy, a 7-year-old boy? What's the most appalling thing about LeBeau? Was it the fact that he left the scene after he hit little Donovan, or that's what authorities say happened?
At this time, it's still alleged, everything that has happened in this case, and it is still going on. And so we are deeply saddened by the death of Donovan, and we are...
But apparently, according to all of the what authorities have said publicly, that he was drinking all day, and then he got in a car and drove, and he hit Donovan, left the scene, and then somehow a friend of his convinced him to go back to the scene, got back in his vehicle, still inebriated, according to authorities, and drove back to the scene, and that's where he was arrested. Don't you find that most appalling?
I find that he made a very bad choice, and I believe that he has to pay for the decisions he's made.
And what would you do in this case? How would you like to see the outcome of this case with Lauren LeBeau? What would you like to see done?
I would like to see the law and justice for what he's done.
Which means what? Do you want him in jail? Do you want him to serve time in jail? What would you like to see?
I would like him to be punished to the full extent of the law.
Which is what, in your opinion?
Well, I believe for the charges that he's been charged with, if he is convicted, it would be about 12 years.
Right. Do you think he can be rehabilitated?
I'm not qualified to really make that decision.
Barry, what do you think?
Well, he's been obeying the law, what the judge said before him, and of course, look, if he has the desire to be rehabilitated, he will. But it's the devastation that's been done to both families.
Right. And as Vicki can attest to, life is never the same.
No.
Never.
Absolutely.
Let's take a quick call, and then we're going to go to a break. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. How are you?
I'm fine. I just wanted to say, John, that I think anybody that gets pulled over for drunk driving should go to jail, and if a friend can get those keys in their hands, by all means, hang on to them.
Okay. Thank you for your
and
call.
do not give them up.
Thank you very much for your call. Appreciate it. We got to go to a break. We're talking, of course, with Vicki Flores and Barry Gleeson, DUI cases and drunken drivers. 265-4331. We're back in a moment.
Is taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want.
This Amana Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is now just $6.99, and this heavy-duty Maytag Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is only $8.99.
Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
We're back with Vicki Flores and Barry Gleeson. Getting back to the Lauren LeBeau case, you know, Barry just brought up here during the break is that, you know, $250,000 bond, boom, he's out of jail. Is that bothersome to you?
I have to trust the justice system, and for whatever reason, the judge believes that that was an appropriate bail.
Imagine, though, Barry, if he gets in the car again, drinks and drives again, if he's out on bail.
Well, he has a monitor, and I don't think that he's going to do that.
Right.
I think that'll be... He's shown that he is willing to cooperate with what the judge said.
Right.
So we'll have to wait and see the outcome of the trial.
Right. Now let me touch on two things before I go to our graphics here. Number one, you mentioned server training. How would that help if you're a bartender at a bar? And how would getting professional training help stop drunk driving? I'm not quite sure I understand. You touched on it earlier.
Well, I believe that if they get the proper training, they won't be serving too much. The majority of these people are being served too much alcohol by either a server, if they're in a setting where, you know, a waitress is serving it, or at a bar. You know, they have a lot of people they're serving and they're not paying enough attention, and they need to be trained so that they know that they're not serving someone that's already had too much alcohol.
Barry, should a person go to jail immediately, even after the first offense? If they're caught, first offense, should they just go to jail right on the spot?
It's a good point. I want to bring up an experience I had with the CHP. We were out on a patrol, and we picked up a 18-year-old driver. And the CHP at that time, they handcuffed him and took him to jail. That impact it had on that kid was absolutely amazing, because when that door closed behind him, he realized how serious the crime was. And I don't think that was a lesson for him, and he said he would never drink again, and I believe that's, but the jails are so full now.
But too many times people are let go on the spot because of who they are, who they know, and what influence they have, and I'm talking including politicians.
Well, yes, but that used to be prevalent before MADD came into as an organization in 1980.
Yeah, so you're telling me that doesn't go on?
Oh, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that but when you're out there, look at the politicians that have been arrested here. Look at the well-known people in the entertainment industry that have been pulled over.
Right.
It's not so easy anymore. We have a lot of friends in the police department, and if anything was going on, we would be the first to know about it. And
Right.
and being out there in this business for 22 years, I have never seen a case. I'm not saying that it hasn't been, but the police department are very, very strict on well, look at the CHP chief that was arrested up in Northern California a couple of years ago here.
Right.
So there was no favoritism there.
Right. Okay. Let's put up on the screen the do's and don'ts right there. Actually, those are 17 states right now that require the ignition interlocks, and you can read the states for yourself. And interestingly, we touched on this just briefly earlier, California is not on that list. Now explain what the ignition interlock system does and what that is, if you can, Vicki.
Well, it will stop someone that has a alcohol of 0.08 or above. It will not allow the car to start.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Basically, that's it?
Basically, that's it.
And why won't California implement that? Why haven't they so
Well,
far?
I believe that is political.
Uh-huh. You agree with that, Barry?
Well, at least the state legislators, they put into place, they're putting this on, it's now being tested in the 4 counties, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's my indication that it's been very successful. And there is a possibility in this coming year that it may become compulsory.
Now, what's it going to take? What's it going to take for the California legislature to pass that? That's the thing.
We need the public need to put pressure on the legislators. To
call your legislator.
Yeah, call your legislators and get this passed.
All right.
Because it'll save lives.
Another graphic I want to put up there before leaving. These are the things that you should do. Look up on that screen there, if you would, ladies and gentlemen. Right there, Vicki. Take a designated driver. Call a friend if you've been drinking. Call a family member. Call Sober Guys, Inc. What is that, by the way?
That's an organization, company that opened up this year, and they will take you and your car home.
What about We Be Sober? It says call We Be Sober up there. What is that? A similar similar organization formed not too long ago?
Actually, We Be Sober has been in business about 3 or 4 years now.
Okay. And also call a taxi or stay put. I mean, you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure all this out. If you drink, just stay put, call a taxi, do all the things that are up on the screen. But the most important thing is, don't get behind the wheel. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Easier said than done.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. You brought a tie along. Explain what that tie is, Vicki. Go ahead.
This is a tie that was designed for Mothers Against Drunk Driving. It's being sold at Macy's, and a portion of the profits
Let me hold that up while you continue to talk. Go ahead.
Going to MADD. And each tie is different. They come in different colors. This particular tie's design is a screwdriver, and this is what a screwdriver looks like under a microscope.
Okay. All right. Now remember, the legal limit here in California is what? Go ahead, Barry.
0.08. It's nationwide.
It's nationwide.
Yeah,
Go ahead. It's 0.8, right?
That's right.
Or 0.08.
Right.
Right. Okay. And that's the legal limit.
That's the legal
But
limit.
even if you reach that limit or get close to it, it's inappropriate, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
I mean, just don't even have one drink and drive. Final thoughts here. We have a minute. What would you like to say?
I'd like to say make the right choice. Drunk driving is 100% preventable. Think about someone other than yourself.
Barry?
If you drink, please do not drive.
Okay. Well, Vicki, it's been a hard and very difficult and unimaginable last 2 years for you and your family, and I sincerely, my heart goes out to you.
Thank you.
And I hope you have a great holiday season, the best you can. Barry, always good to see you.
Thank you so
Come
much.
back again, both of you.
Thank you very
I
much.
really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Being here under difficult circumstances, and I know the holidays are tough right now, and I hope to God you get through them.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you both. Stay put. We're not done yet. We are done as far as the show is concerned. We're going to be back tomorrow, of course. That's going to do it for us today. Tomorrow we're going to be reviewing some movies with Becky Cinema. She's our movie expert and review artist, I guess you would say, and she's going to be talking about all kinds of movies. Hey, what movie would you like to see on Christmas Day? That's a great idea. Go out to a movie on Christmas Day after you open up all those presents. And remember, don't drink, and drive. See you back here tomorrow.